Just play.
Go ahead.
Obviously Kentucky, you guys have had an unbelievable home atmosphere. This is the game that's been sold out forever. You guys have sold out a bunch of games. Just talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about the environment you expect tomorrow night.
Well, I think it's going to be a big week. It's actually, I think Florida sold out right before Kentucky, matter of fact. But right in the same time frame. So no question about it. Our fans have been great. They've been building up. What we need them is to be here early, to be loud, to be crazy, obnoxious, whatever it takes early on, establish themselves, be into it, and help us through everything. If we're on a run, help us keep it going. If we've got to get a run going, help us get that going. Continue to read the game the way they have, and just be loud. I mean, it's their first ESPN audience of the year as well, I believe. Am I correct on that?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
It's their first ESPN audience of the year, too. So I think that's great, and it's going to bring a lot of attention to not only our program, their program, the SEC, but it brings a lot of attention to the fan base. And I think with what we're trying to establish here, when it comes to the crowds, when it comes to the atmosphere, when it comes to the tickets sold, it's a great opportunity to show that off. But most importantly, we need them. And that's been said from day one. That has been the case from game one on, and it'll certainly be that way if we're going to have any success tomorrow night.
When you talk about the Florida game, too, how exciting is it for this week to get an opportunity to play two of the blue blood teams in the SEC on your home court?
Yeah, I think when you look at it in Longview, it is, no question about that. But the short term is we got to get ready for this game. So you really, I know that game's Saturday. Everybody knows it's Saturday, but the bottom line is this is a pretty big game in itself because it's a home game against a nationally ranked school that has been dominant for years. And they're extremely well coached. They've always got a deep, talented team. A team that can win a lot of different ways. They're proving that this year with what he's doing. So we've got, I hate to use the term hands full because it's more than that. We've got to be clicking on a lot of cylinders tomorrow. You never have to play a perfect game to win a game, but you don't have much of a margin for error when you're playing against the better teams, and this week certainly brings that to us.
Personnel-wise, Kentucky's got some talented guards. I don't know, as far as the timeline, if you recruited him or not. Ashton Hagans, what kind of challenges would he bring as a defender?
Well, I think first and foremost, he had decommitted before we got here, and I've known him. We certainly went to visit him, but he never came to campus. So I think when you don't have somebody on campus, I don't really put it in context that we didn't get him, right? Because we never got him up here to see what we were going to do, and that's fine. He made a choice for himself. That's good. I would venture to say I don't know if there's a better defensive an attack-minded guard in the freshman class in the country, and he's playing that way. His ability to create steals, he had 8 steals against North Carolina. His ability to create havoc on the ball, off the ball, getting to the rim, it's outstanding. He's playing with a ton of confidence. And I think people that knew him and know of him knew he had that. And then all of a sudden, as he got more opportunity at Kentucky, and then with the transfer of Quade Green, it came out even more. And he's playing at an extremely high level. And it's not like you can just pinpoint your game plan on 1 or 2 or 3 guys or the backcourt or the front court. Whenever you play John's team, you got to get ready for the whole team. Because he's not going to put anybody out there that can't win the game for him. He's not going to put anybody out there that can't impact the game on both ends. And Ashton Hagans is certainly doing that.
You've mentioned the schedule before. It's incredible. You couldn't come out of the box, really more challenging, certainly with the way it started here. I guess, though, having already played Tennessee and Auburn on the road and that kind of stuff, it prepares you in some ways for, another challenge like this.
Well, it prepares you for really good teams. When you look back and say we opened up on the road with the 2 defending champions of the league and the co-champions, and so it does prepare you for the level of play you're going to see. But I hope it's also giving them an indication that they can compete with it, and I think that's very important too. And it's just the margin for error is different. It really is. It's always different in league play. It's different against the best teams. We're seeing a lot of that right now. I think on any given night, and I hope we're included in this, that anybody can beat anybody. I think that's when you have a great league. I've been a part of great leagues that had that, and I haven't been through this league yet, but from everything I've seen, I think that's the case in this league. But there's some teams that have more going, and they have a lot going for them right now because of the system that he's had in place, the group that he's had in place for some time now, and we've got to be able to compete with that. But I think these guys are truly excited about that. And again, the biggest breakthrough for us, I keep saying we've got to go from being a team that works hard, which we do, to playing harder longer, which we've got to do. And that means your competitive level is higher longer. And that's what we've got to understand, because that's what these other teams that have had a chance to build their program, to build their time up, whether it's Rick at Tennessee, whether it's Bruce at Auburn, Bryce is getting it now, into his third year or whatever it is at Vanderbilt. John's been at Kentucky for a long time. There's a standard that everybody in the program understands what it's got to be. That's the advantage of having your program in place. We're still building what it takes to have that standard. And so we go through it, and we're going through it in what is arguably as tough and a competitive a league as there is in the country. And we're going against some of the best teams in this league right off the bat.
John, when you talk about Hagens and you look at 2019, 2020, 21 recruiting in terms of point guards, how much of a priority is that for you, and how fierce is it to get that quality of guy?
Oh, no question about it. There's absolutely no question that you've got to continue. Again, having a point guard per se, as you can see, we play Nick Claxton at 7 foot, plays the point a lot on this team. To have somebody, the whole key is not just the point guard, it's the decision making. And you want to have numerous decision makers. Now, do we need to have somebody moving down the road that can really help with that and pinpoint that and rally people around them and people that command double teams and can keep making those decisions not only for the pass or at the rim with the shot? Yeah, but our guys are getting better. I mean, that's all we can focus on right now. But there's no question about it. As we recruit, we've got to continue to recruit people that can impact the game, whether it's from a guard position, a wing position, a bigger player position, whatever it is. Because if you're here at Georgia, and I think this is hopefully starting to come out, and by no stretch of the imagination are we playing at some extremely high level yet. But it doesn't matter if you're big or if you're a guard, you're going to get more skilled. You're going to get opportunities to play. Nick, Derek, Ray, the ball's in their hands a lot, not just in making plays situations or taking shot situations, but making plays for others. So the better we get at that, and then the more that we can recruit down the road to get people that can really come in and impact this program because of the presence that they bring to it. And then you add the shot making and all those things that are going to go into it. It's extremely important. And we're well aware of that, and we've been aware of that for some time, and hopefully we'll get more and more recruits that'll be aware of it. Games like tomorrow night, the crowds, the way the attendance is going, games like Saturday coming up, all those things do when people see this on television or see it in person, is that helps sell our message, without a doubt. It helps sell what not only Georgia basketball is all about, but the passion of the Georgia fan base is all about, probably more importantly. Because that's what we've got to be able to show, that everything that happens over in that football stadium when it comes to passion, which is second to none, we want to build the same level of excitement and enthusiasm inside this 10,000 plus Stegman Coliseum.
Any other questions for Coach?
Have you brought up the 2011 Indiana game in terms of, hey, I've beaten Kentucky?
I actually did last night. I gave them an analogy where I thought we let our guard down in that game, and I just went through a couple of the different scenarios. We haven't gotten into any of that film, and I don't think I will. But we had a 10-point lead with 7:38 to go, and Kentucky has to call timeout, and we took our foot off the gas. And when you're playing against great teams, no matter what it is, you can never take your foot off the gas. And it doesn't matter if you're up, it doesn't matter if you're down. Even with Auburn the other day, that 10-point lead for them, to me, did not seem insurmountable for us. But yet we never did anything to really crack that. You've got to continue to come, no matter if it's going well, no matter if it's not going so well. You cannot have empty possessions. You cannot try to take things into your own hands. You cannot try to make plays that aren't there. And you've absolutely got to keep your foot down on what's working for you and turn it up even more on defense. So in that context, I did. But as far as going into the films and game-winning shots and things like that, no, not so much.
How would you describe your relationship with Coach Cal?
We've had a friendship for a long time. I have a ton of respect for him. I have long before I ever met him, and I certainly have throughout the years of our friendship and the times of competing against him. So I think he's a great coach. I think he's built great programs wherever he's been, going all the way back to UMass. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, like the other ones that are coaching right now deserve to be in it, because he's done it at such a high level. And he just keeps, there's a guy that keeps his foot on the gas constantly, and he makes sure that his players keep their foot on the gas. So when you've got that kind of standard of excellence that he has, you can't help but respect it.
Did you do any Kentucky games last year for TV?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. No. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank